Welcome to my channel, Baseball Central. Today we are going to be going over the 2025 Yankees lineup and their pitching staff. In 2024, Jason Dominguez had 67 plate appearances with a 179 average, 313 on base, and a 304 slugging, which is an OPS of 617. In 2025, Fangraphs is projecting him to hit 252 with a 326 on base and a 420 slugging, which is an OPS of 726 and a WRC plus of 112. I agree with Fangraphs. I think Jason Dominguez is going to take that step forward in 2025. The one thing I'd like to see him improve on is his defense, since he had a -3 outs above average in 2024 in that limited playing time. He also just has to stay on the field. I'm excited to finally see a former top 50 prospect in all of baseball to finally get some consistent playing time. Batting second for the Yankees is Aaron Judge. In 158 games, he had 58 home runs, he hit .322, had an on-base of .458, and a slugging of .701. With a .218 WRC plus in 2024, he won the 2024 AL MVP. In 2025, Fangraphs has him hitting .279, a .405 on base, and a slugging of .590, which is an OPS of 995. I completely agree with Fangraphs. He's the second best hitter in baseball, right there with Shohei Ohtani. There's definitely a chance he could win the AL MVP award again. In 2024 for the Cubs, Cody Bellinger had 18 home runs, a .266 average, an on-base of .325, and a slugging of .426, and a WRC plus of 109 with a 2.2 WAR. In 2025, Fangraphs projects Cody Bellinger to hit 23 home runs, bat .260, have an on-base of .320, and a slugging of .442 for a 762 OPS. The main thing with Cody Bellinger is I think he's going to hit really well in Yankee Stadium with a short porch in right field, and he's going to play pretty good defense in center field. In 2024, Giancarlo Stanton played 114 games, hit .233, had an on-base of .298, and a slugging of .475. Had a WRC plus of 116 and a .8 WAR. Stanton's projections for 2025 are pretty similar, but he will be starting the year on the IL with an elbow injury. He has shown year after year that he is sort of regressing. If he can keep the power threat up, I feel like he should be able to hit for 25 to 30 home runs. I think Jazz Chisholm could be in for a huge year with the Yankees because he's going to be at his natural position of second base. In 176 at-bats, Jazz Chisholm with the Yankees hit .273 with .325 on base and a slugging of .500 with an OPS of .825. I completely agree with Fangraphs. I think he is going to hit more than 25 home runs. I think he could even hit 30 with a short porch and right. I think Jazz will prove this year that he is one of the best second basemen in all of the MLB. In 2024, Paul Goldschmidt played 154 games at 22 home runs, hit .245 average, .302 on base, and a slugging of .414 for a 726 OPS. Fangraphs thinks he's going to have a bounce-back season. In 147 games, he's going to hit 25 home runs, hit .251, on base of .326, and a slugging of .436. In my opinion, I think Paul Goldschmidt will probably have a similar year as 2024 with the Cardinals. I think a change of scenery will be good for him, but I don't see him returning to his 2022 MVP self. In 2024, Austin Wells finally got some consistent playing time at catcher. He had a .229 average with a .322 on base and a .395 slugging. He was one of the best framers in all of baseball with a 96 out of 100 score on Baseball Savant. In 2025, Fangraphs projects him to hit .230 with a .313 on base and a .407 slugging. Something I would like to see Austin Wells improve on is hitting left-handed pitching. Against left-handed pitching, he hit .197 with an on-base of .299 and a slugging of .227 and an OPS of .526. I think Austin Wells could have a really good year with the Yankees. In Anthony Volpe's second year in the league, he had 12 home runs, hit .243, had an on-base of .293 and a slugging of .364 with a WRC plus of 86 and a WAR of 3.4. Volpe was one of the best defensive shortstops all of last year with a 14 outs above average. Fangraphs projects him to hit 18 home runs, a .241 average, a .309 on base, and a slugging of .399 with a 708 OPS and a 101 WRC+. If Anthony Volpe can just stay a little bit more consistent at the plate, I think he can be one of the better shortstops in all of the MLB. The main thing with DJ LeMahieu is it seems like he just cannot stay healthy. In 2024, in 67 games, he had 2 home runs, an average of 204, an on-base of 269, and a slugging of 259 with a 528 OPS. He had a 4 outs above average at third base last year, but his bat is not going to be able to keep him in the lineup. That's why I think Oswaldo Cabrera could take over at third base by maybe May or June. If not, I think they could maybe platoon LeMahieu and Cabrera at third base. Against right-handed pitching, Cabrera hit 268 with a 320 on base and a 409 slugging with a 729 OPS last year. Fangraphs projects Cabrera to hit 241 with a 301 on base and a slugging of 391. Now we'll be going over the Yankees pitching staff. In 2024, Garrett Cole pitched 17 games, had a 3.41 ERA, a FIP of 3.69, and a 1.8 WAR. In 2025, Fangraphs projects Garrett Cole to have a 3.82 ERA with a 3.91 FIP and a 3 WAR. In my opinion, I think Garrett Cole will have a lot better of a year than a 3.82 ERA. I think he'll have probably around a 3.4 ERA and maybe a FIP at around 3.5. Next, we have Max Fried, who pitched for the Atlanta Braves in 2024. In 29 games, Max Fried had a 3.25 ERA and a FIP at 3.33 with a WAR of 3.4. Fangraphs projects him to have a similar year as his 2024 season with the Braves. I agree with Fangraphs' prediction on Max Fried's 2025 season with the Yankees. I'm excited to see what Max Fried can do for the Yankees on the stretch. Next up, we have Carlos Rodon. In 2024, Carlos Rodon had a 3.96 ERA and a FIP at 4.39 with a 1.7 WAR. Fangraphs projects Carlos Rodon to have a 4.01 ERA and a 3.96 FIP. I think Rodon definitely has the potential to pitch better than Fangraphs projections, and I really hope he does as a White Sox fan. We now have the 2024 AL Rookie of the Year, Luis Gil. In 2024, Luis Gil had a 3.50 ERA and a FIP at 4.14 and a WAR at 2.2. Fangraphs projects Luis Gil to have a 4.18 ERA and a FIP at 4.31 and a WAR at 1.2. On March 3rd, 2025, it was reported that Luis Gil had been diagnosed with a high-grade right lat strain that will prevent him from throwing for at least 6 weeks. Luis Gil does have a history with injuries when he had Tommy John surgery just a few years ago. In 16 games, Clark Schmidt had a 2.85 ERA and a FIP at 3.58, which is really good. Fangraphs expects him to slightly regress in 2025. They have him at a 3.97 ERA and a FIP at 3.99. I think Schmidt can meet sort of in the middle of where his 2024 season and his 2025 projections are. Clark Schmidt really proved that he was a pretty good pitcher for the Yankees in that 16-game sample size that he had in 2024. Lastly, we have Marcus Stroman. In 2024, Marcus Stroman had a 4.31 ERA and a 4.62 FIP with a WAR at 1. Fangraphs has him projected at a 4.39 ERA and a FIP at 4.44 and a WAR at 1.1 in 2025. It's important to note that the Yankees are going to have a 6-man rotation this year. So that means with Luis Gil out at the beginning of the season, Marcus Stroman is going to have to step up big time to fill that role. For this season, I think the Yankees will have 95 wins. Tell me what you guys think in the comments, and thank you for watching.